All right, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack how a literal children's toy format got weaponized into a tool for global information warfare. Today, we're looking at this wild intersection of geopolitics, artificial intelligence, and pop culture. It is honestly something you have to see to believe. We're going to break down exactly how state-sponsored narratives are evolving right before our eyes, ditching traditional broadcasts for highly optimized, algorithm-friendly content designed to sneak right into your social media feed.
So it brings up a fascinating, albeit surreal, question. What on earth does a toy brick effigy have to do with international state propaganda? Well, we're going to act as digital anthropologists today to answer just that. We'll be analyzing a highly unusual event recently reported by the Times of India. And this story perfectly captures the changing face of modern information warfare because it blends deeply traditional state ceremonies with hyper-modern digital tactics.
Section 1. The Lego Trump Funeral. To really grasp what happened here, we have to start on the ground to set the scene. Imagine the sheer scale and seriousness of this backdrop. During the 6 days of funeral ceremonies for Ali Khamenei, literally millions of mourners gathered for these highly traditional, solemn rites across Iran and Iraq. He was laid to rest on a Thursday in Mashhad, which is his birthplace and one of Iran's holiest cities. And just to underscore the gravity of the event, the burial prayer was actually led by a 101-year-old hardline cleric, Hossein Nouri Hamadani. Plus, adding a little layer of political intrigue to this traditional setting, Khamenei's son and successor, Mujtaba Khamenei, remained entirely absent from public view the whole time. So keep this ancient, incredibly solemn picture in your mind.
Because right in the middle of all that solemnity, this bizarre contrast emerges. Surrounded by millions of mourners and a century-old cleric, a highly specific Lego effigy of Donald Trump was brought out and burned. The crowd was repeatedly calling for the U.S. leader's death while literally setting this toy on fire, framing the whole thing as a symbolic funeral for him. I mean, talk about a jarring collision of worlds, right? You have these deeply ancient ceremonial mourning rites sharing the stage with a plastic toy brick effigy of an American politician.
Moving on to Section 2. Defining Lego propaganda.
Now, that physical effigy we just talked about, that wasn't just some random act by a guy in the crowd. It's actually the real-world manifestation of a deliberate new digital strategy being called Lego propaganda. And this represents a highly modern AI-driven approach to state messaging. Basically, we're talking about short, AI-generated animations featuring Lego-like figures that are specifically engineered to push Islamic Republic narratives out onto the global internet. So instead of formal state TV anchors or, traditional military parades, the messaging vehicle has become brightly colored, computer-generated toys.
And there's a very specific architect behind all this, a group called Explosive Media, which is widely suspected of having ties to the Iranian government, is driving this whole format. They are effectively weaponizing U.S. pop culture tropes against American figures. And here's why this strategy is kind of a game changer. It completely bypasses our standard cognitive defenses. By portraying Trump as old, isolated, and prone to childish tantrums, all through the medium of a children's toy, they're packaging severe geopolitical hostility into easily digestible, highly clickable internet content. And it's working. These videos have racked up millions of views during the conflict.
The sheer absurdity of the content is honestly hard to believe. They're engineering these highly mimetic, easily shareable videos for maximum virality. For instance, one specific viral clip circulated by Iranian state media literally depicted Trump with an oversized yellow Lego head and a flaming backside. Yeah, you heard that right. In the animation, he's holding a sign that reads, "Victory, I am a loser." It is just so far removed from the stoic, serious propaganda of the 20th century. What we're looking at is internet troll culture elevated to the highest levels of international state messaging.
Which brings us to Section 3, the Big Tech Crackdown.
Naturally, when this kind of algorithmic content from state-linked groups hits global platforms, it sparks immediate friction. Just look at this clash of perspectives over the ban. On one side, YouTube stepped in and suspended Explosive Media's account entirely, citing violations of their policies regarding violent content. But man, the response was immediate. On the other side, Iran's foreign ministry formally condemned the ban. They argued that removing these Lego animations was a calculated move to suppress what they called the truth regarding the U.S.-Israel war on Iran. So a debate over digital Lego animation instantly escalated into a full-blown diplomatic grievance over censorship and narrative control.
Let's look at the bigger picture in Section 4.
The new era of propaganda.
Zooming out from those banned accounts, what we're really observing here is a clinical evolution in information warfare. We are moving away from traditional state propaganda, the physical effigies burning on streets, the state-run TV broadcasts, the old-school methods that require physical presence and geographic proximity. Instead, we're transitioning directly toward algorithm-optimized viral content. We are talking about AI-generated animations explicitly designed to game social media feeds. The essential takeaway here is monumental. State messaging is no longer confined to the borders of the state itself. It's engineered to cross borders silently, riding the wave of algorithms, pop culture familiarity, and internet humor to land directly on screens worldwide.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. As state propaganda shifts from the physical streets to AI-generated algorithms, what will the next generation of information warfare look like? I mean, if geopolitical conflicts are now being fought with AI-generated toy bricks tailored for our social media feeds, the battlefield has fundamentally moved into our pockets. I'll leave you with that final thought as we conclude our explainer on this fascinating and rapidly evolving digital battleground. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this, and hey, keep your eyes open. The next piece of global propaganda you see might just look like child's play.